Hi, welcome to Blacticulate, a podcast series featuring UK young black professionals, where we find out how they do what they do, so you can too. Or not. After all, it is your life. Yes, guys. Hey, once again, thank you very much for joining us. And for those of you, if this is the first time you're coming to Blacticulate, honestly appreciate it. I'd love to know how you heard from us. If you can just drop us any form of message on our social media or even more directly via email at contactblacticulate.com. How you heard of us, what you think about our podcast. It's invaluable to us. We always take into consideration your feedback, your thoughts, because at the end of the day, it's all about you guys. It's never about us. So yes, thank you newcomers, and thank you very much regular listeners. So today's episode is with Julius Atuona. Now he is one of the co-founders of a leather fashion accessory brand called Nomadic People. And in this conversation that we have with him, he just pretty much tells us how he started, where he's coming from, how he's really making ends meet, and the challenges he faces being a person of color within quite a niche industry. We try to give as much tangible, as much concrete advice. We talk about accountancy, looking at how to do your books, how to organize your business structure. And I hope this might be of value to anyone who is looking to start up their own business, or even specifically looking to start up their business in the fashion industry. If it's not any good, if there are things that we've overlooked and we should have mentioned or spoken about, let us know as well. Reason being is because I can easily get him back on. In fact, I'm definitely going to get him back on, because since we spoke, this was in 2015, their business has just moved from strength to strength. So we definitely need to catch up with him, get an update on how he's progressing. So yeah, without further ado, I bring to you Julius Atuona, co-founder of Nomadic People. Okay guys, welcome to another episode of Blacticulate. As you know, I find the most talented, the most creative, the most inspirational individuals in the UK doing amazing things, doing positive things, taking positive actions. And today's no different. In front of me, I've got a really dear friend of mine. We've known each other for quite a while, but
it's been quite some time.
Yeah, but we never really.
I don't know where it started, where it ended, but
it will be Toller, Chelsea, and that.
Yeah.
But we don't know each other like through and through. We don't hang out every day. But when we do, it's just blessed.
We should hang out a lot more.
Yeah, it's just,
you're local as well.
I know. There's no excuses.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that voice you're hearing is Julius, right? And Jules.
In the flesh.
You need to tell my listeners who you are, how you identify yourself. When I say identify yourself, like, what do you do? And we'll roll from there.
Right. Yeah, so as mentioned before, my name is Julius Atuona, aka Joey Nomadic, and I'm one half of Nomadic People. I'm a founder of a brand which creates and designs and manufactures by hand in London bespoke leather pieces, leather and canvas, and leather men's accessories. I identify myself as a designer and as a craftsman mainly as well. So that's like my main priority, to be known that my hands are my tools and something that I work with. And it's something that's been done in my family for years, like just a whole family of craftsmen as well. So, and on the other side of that, it's a family of scholars and of course Nigerian academics and accountants. So yeah. In the blood, in the flesh, man. This here.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So when you say you identify as being a craftsman and whatnot, you don't see, because the reason why I say it's interesting is I would have thought you said Nigerian first. Or,
yeah, of course.
Or is identity in that sense like important?
Again, I think before everything else, I identify myself as an African before as a Nigerian, and kind of as a craftsman as well, because I'm one of maybe probably like 30 million Nigerians in diaspora in the UK probably.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like I identify with my hands and like what I do and what I create first, kind of as a Nigerian as well. And again, like, don't get me wrong, these Nigerian stories, like, they are close to my heart as well. But yeah.
Okay, let's start with how you founded this company and why.
Right. I've always been involved in design as well. And my partner, Toby,
who we're going to get on Blacticulate as well, guys. So look forward to that.
AKA Nomad Toby. Yeah, we've been designing and kind of like spitballing ideas in terms of what our concept of style is and what we can do to complement the style as well. So it was kind of a natural progression that we went from our conversations to actually starting a brand that does something. A lot of people I know, they have ideas and they rarely act on their ideas. But
I mean, like so many people.
Yeah. So at the time I was working within accounting, and it's kind of like something that you did do as a safety net. You know, you as a creative, people always ask me how I've gone from finance into having becoming a craftsman. But I've always kind of like straddled both sides of the fence. I've always been quite good academically, but I've always been hands-on in terms of my learning pattern as well. So yeah, it was kind of a natural progression from our conversations to getting into being craftsman and leather craftsman as well.
Yeah, and I bet why leather specifically?
Leather's it's a beautiful material to work with. Okay. And, it holds no presence. As soon as you make a mistake on it, it's over. You've got to start all over again. So it's like, it's about the concentration. It's about, I guess the word is patina. Patina, yeah. Okay. So if you get a piece of leather, if you get a piece of copper or wood, when it ages, it gets that shine, it gets that kind of like varnish or that natural gleam and that natural quality. And leather's patina has to be the best for me. And after that, probably copper when it goes blue as well. That's something that's striking to me. But yeah,
you like the aging process.
The aging process, and like just being oxygenated, the hands, grease, sweat, everything getting into it, and then each piece of leather having its own unique patina to the owner of that leather as well. So
so it's almost like a unique identification.
Exactly.
And how you use the material.
Yeah, no card holder. Once it's gone to a customer, no card holder looks the same, or no leather bag looks the same, because it tells its own story.
Yeah.
I can look at a piece of leather and say, yeah, this person has really sweaty palms. Or, this person leads an extraordinary life. Or it's quite interesting in that way. But
okay, so talk to me about that process of moving then from an accountant to full-time.
Craftsman. As a Nigerian,
as it was exactly. As a
Nigerian, that is an interesting story. So. Essentially the story goes, you're working and you sit down with your dad, your brother, your sister, your friends, whatever, and you kind of say like, yeah, you've had enough of like waking up and going to do something that you don't particularly enjoy. And the first thing is like, are you mad? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? And then when you tell them what you actually want to do, it gets 10 times worse. Well, I think when people see the work that you've been putting in, that you're actually serious about it, they start to understand that this isn't a phase, or this isn't just some craziness talking. It's a passion. I think once you have a passion, not many people find their passion, but once you do find your passion, like, you're quite lucky. But then you have another battle of making that passion into something that can actually financially sustain you as well. So
you've always got that. You've got to straddle that finance. How do I live? My passion?
No, I've just been speaking to people who've been here before me. A lot of people, they like to do things on their own, but I think it's quite important to just find out, like, most paths have already been trodden before you even got there. So just find a mentor, speak to them, find out how they've done it. And then I'm just trying to be in that place where I can tell other people who are doing the same thing I'm doing how to keep their finances in check, how to do certain things as well. So it's a massive learning curve. Yeah.
So how do you do that? How do you keep your finances in check and pursue your passion and dream?
It's constant planning, and
like, walk us through what you do.
Yeah. So what I do, every month I have a financial plan for the month, how much money I have for food, how much money I have for rent, how much money I have for living a lavish life, which is
just a playboy,
which is pretty much never. But it's about budgeting, financial planning, and obviously a lot of people can set a budget it's just an Excel spreadsheet and then typing in a few numbers, but it's a discipline to stick into that budget, which sometimes leaves people at their time of need. And I'm just lucky to have like my brother who is really good at planning, having a sister who's machine at planning. And I just look at them and I think what would Brenda do, or what would Malcolm do? What would Diana do? And then you think, Julius, you've got to step it up. And I have a lot of friends as well who are also self-employed and monsters when it comes to planning and saving as well. So I've got a wealth of kind of like experience around me, which I like to tap into. So
yeah, I mean,
I think it's just as good as like the friends you keep, or
the company you keep definitely helps keep you on track.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely helps discipline you. I'm 100% in agreement with that. So when you decided, obviously you told your dad, and because, are you mad that, this is what you want to do? Nomadic People as a brand is going to come through strong and hard. And guys, if you do get an opportunity to, in fact, do it now whilst we're talking.
Check it out at nomadic_people. That's our Instagram, and the website is www.nomadic-people.com as well. So it's a fine selection of products there.
Yeah, so guys, check it out as whilst we're talking. Now, do you recall your first client, your first sale?
Yes, I do actually. I remember we started off with just a small WordPress blog, and initially our brand idea was to kind of like take the customer on a journey with us from 0 to 100, if you like. And we used to have a blog of our late nights in my bedroom, where we first started off with just a basic sewing machine and ruler, razor blade, cutting mat leather.
Nice.
We used to document everything, and people used to comment on it. Got quite a bit of love as well. So we used to receive quite a few emails for requests for products for like an iPad case or a rucksack. Our first customer, he was a lawyer for a music company.
Okay. So you didn't know him, wasn't part of your
idea who he was,
network.
Wasn't part of my network, and he hit us up via email, requested a bag. We had no idea what we were doing in terms of like the e-commerce side of the business, but we made the product, got it to him, he paid us, and that was when we thought, we've got business. We might just actually have a business on our hands. So, and I guess that was the birth of Nomadic People as a legal entity. So from that point, we kind of registered it as a limited company, copyrighted the logo, copyrighted it in America as well, which was really, it's another story where... So essentially there was, after we...
Because we don't know anything about copyright here.
Yeah, so after we launched our brand, there then was another brand who one of our friends found on Instagram called Nomadic People.
Right. Okay.
And they started probably a year after us, which was quite reserved comment for that. But so I think the first thing we did was register for a copyright on the logo and name in America as well, because that is obviously, when it comes to online social media as well, America is pretty much the hub of where things go. So if you have an Instagram here, funnily enough, a lot of the images will go to America before they are circulated in the UK.
Okay.
Which is something I don't... on our website, most of our hits are from America, and then the UK, and then Copenhagen, Denmark, So it was quite of a priority for us to get that copyright going. Right now we're in the process of copywriting in Japan and Canada and Denmark as well. So... there are quite a few legal stepping stones that need to be done as well.
Is copyright expensive?
Copyright is not expensive in the UK.
Okay.
I think it's roughly $300 in US, and it is quite expensive in Japan as well. But there are some people who can get you kind of like an international copyright package, but where we had done it in the UK first, we weren't eligible for that. But
it's important.
It's very important, because if you spend X amount of nights developing a brand name, a brand identity, and a logo, the last thing you want to do is have somebody kind of like take it and use it on their product, which doesn't reflect your product at all, or reflects badly, or in any such way. So when it comes to products, and branding, it's very important.
Okay. God, you guys, you can tell how amazing Jules is at speak. What would be the best advice you can give my listeners who do want to start up an accessory brand?
Yeah.
A la yours, but obviously the thing about you guys is unique and everyone will be unique.
Yeah.
You know? But if you almost say, imagine this was a class and you had the cheat sheet to a test or something, what would that be? What does that look like?
I think the first thing it would have is your story. You need to kind of like have your story and then have your own identity, kind of neatly package that into a branding story. And then do not be afraid to research and look at other people who have done it before you as well. There's a wealth of experience, a wealth of knowledge out there. I think it was Vivian Westwood who said something about plagiarism, which I don't actually condone. I don't condone. But, so like, there's literally nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
Like, you can look under a rock and find inspiration. So just research and be constantly hungry for inspiration and open to inspiration from certain different things. We've gone to Gothic exhibitions. We've gone to punk exhibitions just to take pictures and have a reference and kind of like draw information from it and draw design inspiration from it.
Would you bet you are definitely mapping your road to success, and it's amazing just to watch you guys grow. Right. Because when I knew you, I don't think Nomadic People.
It wasn't in existence at the time. So we, I think it was just a figment of our imagination at that point. But I think that essentially is the best thing about our brand, is that a lot of people have been there from the journey from the beginning. And on most of our social medias, all you have to do is just search, do a Google search, and you can see it from day one as well. And then you can follow it within a week and then say, yeah, okay, this is something I can subscribe to, or this isn't me. But as long as we get people thinking and actually thinking, yeah, we can do this, or it's not something that's alien to me, because we don't have a design or a fashion background. We just have a creative background, and that's what you need to accomplish anything.
So you've got challenges though.
Challenges, yes.
You do.
Challenges, of course.
And we all do. So what are some of your challenges? And I'm always curious to know as well whether or not that is reflective of your race. I'm hoping it's not, but you never, this is Blacticulate. So
I mean, if you speak to somebody who, for example, you have a fashion buyer, and you kind of like, for example, if they were to look at your CV and see this guy has not been to Central St. Martin's to study design or fashion or anything. Yeah. This guy has not been to a Royal Cordwainers to do work with leather shoes or anything. What are your specialties? But what are you doing here? Why are you here? Yeah. And you're black as well. What are you doing here? There's this random black guy just asking.
Am I being punked? Is this a joke?
It's a joke. But again, I'm capable of producing a wealth of designs. I have a wealth of designs in my sketchbooks at home. I like to let my products do the speaking for themselves. And that is pretty much what happens. So people tend to look at our products and think, you know what, this is a good product. And rather than actually look at me and say, who's this random guy from Peckham?
Yeah.
This random black guy from Peckham, what is he doing here? And they appreciate our products and they kind of subscribe from that point on. So
you do like Apple or any good brand product, first and foremost, speaks for itself.
Some people have the gift of the gab. Some people are blaggers and salesmen. If you've got a great product and you've got all those other skills on top, then you're set. You're set, yeah.
But you don't feel you're a good blagger or salesman?
Like when I sell, I like people to think for themselves. So for example, if I was to do a sketch, my sketch wouldn't be for people to buy it. It would be to make people think.
Right.
And I think that is where things happen, at a point where people start thinking about things rather than thinking, oh yeah, this is something that somebody told me to go and buy, or something that somebody wooed me into buying. I like people to kind of see something and then think, this is something I can do something with this, or this is something that intrigues me.
No, I see that.
Just kind of like conversational starters, or like not necessarily with other people, but at least like a thought process in your head where you're conversing like, why should I buy this? Or this is something I should buy, or so.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, like, your audience, do they know that you're black?
I think based on our heavy social media and branding, it will be kind of hard to not know that we're black. But I am sure there are some people who see my products and have absolutely no idea.
Right. And then, so if they know you're black, do you tend to find that you have majority of the buyers? Who are they? Do you know? Because you mentioned Copenhagen.
Yeah. And so, funnily enough, I've been speaking to quite a few of my friends who work in marketing and PR, and our customers are, I'd say, 28 to 35-year-old, and they're usually working kind of like creative backgrounds as well. So, like, our main guy has been described as a greying graphic designer.
A greying
graphic designer who cycles. So like that is kind of our market, and it hasn't been that intentionally. It just seems that most of our designs do speak to those kind of people who maybe have a creative background, and we don't really have any PR or marketing, so we can't actually kind of aim for other crowds or audiences. We let
Does that matter? Do you want to?
As a business, my mentor would say this is essential. This is something you have to do.
Right.
But as a creative, it's refreshing to have that our products are conversing with these people.
Right.
Organically as well. So like organic sales are always the best kind of sales. It's like an external appreciation for something that you've been doing. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm with you, Jules. So if I'm going to break down a conversation which we had, or which we are having, about the challenges, you are finding it difficult to get in front of buyers?
Finding it quite difficult to get in front of buyers, and to kind of like speak to markets outside of the greying graphic designer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the solutions? Do you have any? I mean, what's your mentor said?
My mentor said to kind of get involved in the marketing and PR side, and to extend our product range as well, which we are working on. Autumn products coming out soon.
Nice.
Shameless plug.
Got to.
But to work on extending your product portfolio as well to appeal to more people. And our products are handmade in South London as well, so that does come at a premium. So maybe to having more like a starter product or a
lower tier.
A lower tier.
Nice. I'm gonna argue against your mentor, and forgive me, I don't know he or she.
Of course, she's amazing. We argue back and forth, quite often.
I say keep it, but I don't know much. I mean, so anyone listening who's obviously looked at Nomadic People and think they can help, particularly in the marketing and PR side of things, definitely get in touch.
Yeah. Send me an email, send me a WhatsApp, send me an Instagram DM, like, carrier pigeon, anything.
Just get in touch. Okay, brilliant. But because it is Blacticulate and it is all about positive actions, black stories, are there any stories in which you know that if you weren't black, this wouldn't be happening? And how did you deal with it?
Right, so when we first started out, we did get message from a store in Copenhagen to for them to carry some of our products. So we confirmed the order. We went over there to have a conversation and everything as well. And we spoke to the person, and they then said that they won't be paying us until the products have been sold through, which wasn't discussed.
Process.
That's not business protocol at all. So I then spoke to a few other people who had worked for those stores as well, and found out that that isn't business protocol as well. So I couldn't actually say whether it is because we were black or because we were a small startup brand, but it was quite disheartening, and needless to say, we didn't continue with that situation. But again, people do have a certain stereotype, like we all know this, about black people working with black people. Maybe they're not professional, maybe they'll be late, or all of these things, but you just got to keep on going and overcome these barriers. Like there are barriers there, Nobody can deny it. You do have people who deny it, but
Yeah.
it's just something that we've experienced through life and makes us stronger people for getting over it. And we're doing this so that when people who come after us want to do it, they don't have these barriers because we have our own avenues for them to come to enter into these markets through. So
yeah, and you couldn't have said it any better. Now I'm curious to know, have you had any backlash from within our own community?
I think it's been quite positive.
Yeah,
I do get occasionally people ask me, "Oh, right, this is a very nice product. How much is it?" And then I'll get a bit of backlash from them saying, "Oh yeah, this is too expensive," or like, "You're not helping the community." But at the same time, we have a large workshop in Lewisham. We need to pay rent, and these costs have been calculated where we can actually stay afloat as a business. So again, it is penny squeezers. There's nothing wrong with penny squeezing. But, we need to stay alive.
Yeah, you got to eat, right? Yeah. You got to eat. Now we had
vegan meals aren't cheap.
You've stopped eating meat, haven't you?
Yeah,
we had this conversation earlier, by the way, listeners. Yeah, like a Nigerian man has stopped eating meat.
Yeah, this is actually taboo.
Yeah, it's not known.
Yeah, no, I just after eating meat feel quite sluggish, and then I don't have the best digestive experience after eating meat and X amount of carbs as well. So nobody has ever had a problem with eating a salad. Nobody's ever had a problem with like eating like vegetables or for example. So yeah.
But you spoke about something about the matrix system, the red and blue pill.
Yes.
What was that? Can you let the listeners know?
Right, yeah. So just yesterday actually I had a conversation with my sister Diana. She's a writer and she wrote a play called Liberian Girl, which was massive. It got a whole load of accolades. But we were speaking about people and kind of like their aversion to risk and kind of like getting into businesses or getting into freelance work or just being a creative in general. And I kind of thought that in the systems we go to, like kind of like institutions like school, secondary school, university, people aren't, let's say, bred to be free thinkers or to kind of like follow their passions. They are kind of like made to get into line with the system or the machine so that they need to be a cog, they need to be a functioning part of the system, which to some extent is understandable, but only a few people break free of that condition and they actually pursue their dreams. I speak to people and I ask them what their passions are and they have no idea what their passions are.
But that is difficult. To find your passion.
It is quite difficult, but if you speak to a child and ask them what their passions are, they'll tell you within 5 seconds of you asking that question.
That's true.
And it's what makes you lose your sense of passion or your sense of loving something that you do. And we kind of came to the conclusion that it must be these institutions where they don't teach you about financial efficacy, they don't teach you about how to balance your checks, how to kind of like invest, lessons that we should be learning as functioning parts of society. They do teach you Pythagoras theorem, which I haven't used, even though I find theoretical maths is crazy interesting, but again it hasn't helped me as an adult or
practical application.
Trying to get into on the housing market hasn't helped me in any such way. So I kind of think it's like some people, as I said to you before, it's like the red or blue pill, or is it red or green pill? I can't remember.
No, it's red and blue.
Red or blue pill. Right, yeah. It's, yes, some people choose to take the pill, some people discard the pill and just carry on with their daily life because they don't. I don't want no trouble. I don't want no trouble. But yeah, you have to be a leader and you need to lead your people as well. And like, if we had more leaders, then I guess we'd be in a better situation. So I'm just trying to be a leader and trying to make it easier for Black people from South London to get into their own passions or following creativity and following something they love. So
amazing.
So hopefully, like, when I'm doing what I'm doing, somebody can message me and say, yes, I also have this, like, can you be my mentor or can you help me with this or point me in the right directions? I'm having problems with counting and my taxes. I'm having problems with copywriting as well. So yeah, this is something I can help you with and give you some information. So yeah.
Amazing. So guys, again, that is a call out. If you need any counting,
hit me up. WhatsApp, DMs, carrier pigeon, messenger fox. Okay.
I mean, again, guys, I think you can join me in saying that this is probably, again, one of the very, very good Blacticulate episodes with Jules. I'm going to ask you a final question.
Yeah.
How would you like to be remembered?
I'd like to be remembered as just somebody who kind of like followed his passions, made it easier for other people to do what they wanted to do, and just loved his people. Brilliant. That's it. At the end of the day, just love your people, man.
Love your people. Hey guys, we really appreciate you listening, and if you have any feedback whatsoever, please do leave it in the comment section below. Also, you can get all the information on the guests, the links and resources we speak about in the description below. There's plenty more videos in our archives in our video section, so do check that out. And last but not least, and this is really important, if you are somebody who can teach us how you do what it is you do, because Blacticulate is all about empowering and upskilling the community, then please get in touch, because we'd love to feature you too. Guys, you're the best. Hope you have a great day and see you soon.